Yo, what's going on, guys? It's ShamefulPenguin here, back with another video. Today we're doing leveling with Penguin Act 5 on Forbidden Rite Totem. It's been a few days since I got back to doing this build, and I was actually like looking into it, like what to build on it, and I'm kind of understanding the choices some of the builds are making now. Like the reason some of them aren't running, there's like a decent amount of them not running multiple totems, and how to wither things, and like what supports they're running and why. And I think I have an idea. I'm gonna be running multiple totems and stuff, but for like this leveling, because like I'm just melting everything right now, so I'm gonna keep it going because it's +2. But once I get my soul mantle going, I will probably take off multiple totems and end up going with wither on multiple totems. And this is like a little, I could explain this when I make like the build guide for it or whatever I'm gonna do. But so the idea behind that is that oh, I went the wrong way. I need to go down more. So without multiple totems, the maximum totems you can summon are 4, right? With assuming we have soul mantle on, because soul mantle is pretty much necessary, as well as the boots and stuff. There's some mandatory uniques that make this build pretty OP. But we're gonna say we have 4 totems we can summon max without multiple totem support. So we're gonna have 4 of Forbidden Rite totems. Then we're gonna put what's it called, wither totems with multiple totem support, and that's gonna make our maximum totems for wither totems 6. Therefore we can summon all 4 of our Forbidden Rite totems, and then summon 2 extra wither totems without overriding any Forbidden Rite totems. And that's the idea behind that. So if that doesn't make sense to you, I'll try to explain it later on when I make the build guide or whatever. But for now, just run this and then like self-cast wither or whatever. I need to check the endgame DPS. I need to try some like example gear and like all the items I'm planning on using, putting them in a POB, and then seeing if it like really makes a difference. Because if self-casting wither is like really like high, like a lot higher boss DPS, that's what I'm gonna opt for, because I want this to be a bosser, even though it's pretty decent at clearing. Like honestly, I thought it'd be a lot worse. If we get some prod speed on this, we're gonna be doing a lot of damage. Another thing I need to look at is if greater volley is actually like best in slot. The reason this build does so much damage is the shotgunning effect. And greater volley, a lot of them start to miss once you hit greater volley on single target. It's way better for clearing, so if you're going to be clearing with this build a lot, grab greater volley. It's definitely your best in slot for clearing. But if you are like gonna boss fight, you're for sure want to go with, or not for sure, you potentially want to go with either lesser volley support so you can keep some more damage, or even just go with a whole nother damage support. Like potentially cruelty? I don't know. Some people are using cruelty. I don't know how I feel about that. But it might be a thing because all the other nodes are nerfed, so who knows? Oh, and we also use void manipulation, and I wasn't using that because we didn't get it as Templar, but I should have bought it for myself. But void manipulation is actually, like, I'm getting stunned a lot, is actually one of the best support gems apparently, because it's, I mean it's void damage, makes sense. It's not apparently, it's definitely. It's a lot of things I've been looking up, some like hindsight. I mean hindsight's 2020, but yeah, void manipulation for sure. If you can get that on. Other than what do I have? I would probably place it instead of I don't know, one of these. Keep in mind when I do my build guides, speaking of faster projectiles, keep in mind when I do my build guides, when I put on my gems, I list them in order of importance. The top one is always the active skill gem, and then the first 3 underneath it are gonna be like your next most important, and then your last 2 are your 5th and 6th link. Should have been cursing him more. Wither him, make sure he's still cursed. Pretty good. I wonder, I need to check if they're using Witchfire Brew for clearing, or for because it might not be as consistent for bosses, because you might not have enough flask charges on Witchfire Brew enough, because flasks are kind of sketch now.
Only to find chaos and blood.
But also another thing to keep in mind is cluster jewels are your best friend. I know I have 2 passive points. I actually don't know what I'm speccing, so I was going to do that once I hit the waypoint. But yeah, definitely cluster jewels are your best friend. The totem life ones are like top tier. A lot of people are using proj cluster jewels, which I think is weird. I thought you would just use both totem life, but who knows. Another DPS check that's gonna have to happen later. But yeah, when in doubt, just copy like a top tier build on PoE builds. Like, you don't know what you're doing and they do something kind of weird that you don't agree with, still you should generally you should copy them if they're really like that far they're doing something right. Something looks weird, ask them a question, but like you should put it on because it might make a difference. It's probably making a difference.
I vowed before my brothers that I would return.
I said I was doing.
And so I have.
Alright, where was I going? I grabbed the crit. Oh, I was grabbing these next. I don't really need vitality anymore because I have mind over matter. So vitality is kind of not great anymore. Clarity's definitely great right now because we are mind over matter, so the regen is like necessary. A lot of bubble guys, which is annoying because you're, I mean, I guess I do hurt them. So I was gonna say usually projectiles really suck against these like bubble guys because you have to like stand in there with the totem to do damage, but looks like we get past that. Dead end, but we'll get some XPs. It's good to level up. We are 42 and we're 40 and a 42, so we could use a few levels. All right. This is bossing. This build is real smooth. So I was actually with a few friends. I was leveling a aura bot. It kind of got out of hand. It was a interesting adventure. They were like not upgrading their gear and stuff, but it was whatever. It was a fun experience. We kept like dying and stuff, and then once one of my friends was playing Cyclone Facebreaker. And once he actually got to equip his Facebreaker and actually like put on a few decent leveling uniques, we just melted the game. It was real fun. But I haven't finished leveling that character because I had to like get off, and they kept leveling. So potentially I'm gonna either have an aura stacker or an aura bot, just because I wanted to level with them and hang out. So this is definitely gonna be my build I focus on. for the time being, because I want a lot of challenges to get done, a lot of bossing. Have a lot of hope for this build. It looks really fun. It's also purple, so right up my alley. But if my friends are playing, potentially have an aura bot to carry. I know one of my friends has a lightning arrow build that can be juiced, so if I get an aura bot going, we could like farm stuff. That could be fun. I just have options. But yeah, we're pretty much like just running past a lot. I mean, we're not killing all of these. We'll wait a little bit. Whenever you see blue packs, it's worth waiting to kill them if you're not over leveled. It's always worth killing them. They do drop a decent amount of loot. And if you do enough damage, it can be a quick kill. Let's check our stuff out, because we got cast speed. Cast speed is what we want. Crit and mana. There's no life. We can craft life on that, but that's really good. We'll use this shield for sure. I've been looking for a shield upgrade. We need to upgrade this wand real bad. I'm working on really bad gear and I'm clearing really well, so it's pretty crazy. We'll grab Cruel Prep because it's just such a good gem to grab. What are my resistances? They're like kind of bad, but like we're doing a lot. I should start focusing on gear more now. But having a shield's really good. If you double wanding, that's also really good. I feel like shield is, I don't know if it's better. It's just more safe, more consistent. But yeah, we can get some. The pack size over here is real big. Be careful. This is a spot you can die at, and then you have to run through the entire map again, which is really annoying. Make sure you stay safe over here, but you can get a lot of XP from this. There we go. And we'll head in. Let's get with the boss fight.
The world must be cleansed of impurity.
I don't need that. I can drop that. We do a lot of damage, and I'm on a white one still. This is crazy. This build is insane. I don't even have lightning golem up. So yeah, if you have the option to like level with leveling uniques, definitely do that. I just do all this leveling with non-leveling unique stuff for the series, just so you guys, if you guys are playing this for a league start, or if it's your first character and you're late to the league, or this is your second character and you didn't make much currency, or like whatever your reason is, I want to make this more relatable, because I could put like a tab on and put all my like leveling uniques and stuff on and make this insane and like actually one-shot bosses, but I think this makes it more relatable for you guys, so you guys can like actually see what I'm doing in fights. 99% of the fights though, you just run circles around the boss. Make sure they don't hit you with any of their spells.
When God has lost his way, the devout must set him back on the path.
So this fight, you want to stay a little bit away, but when you see him charge up your laser, you want to stand right next to him. You see I'm like walking around. If I was far away walking from him, and walking around in circles, his laser would catch up to me really fast. So I would probably die to it. It does a lot of damage. So his second phase is the harder phase of the two. The first phase is a lot easier. Not too many things you have to worry about. Alright, make sure he's cursed. Oh, I'm in the back, so I see it. Like, you see how it's catching up to me? But you stand like on top of him and walk behind him constantly, he won't immediately turn around. That should be good. Stay away from. So the reason you want to stay not on top of him the whole time is because he has a slam ability, and he does his dash thing where he throws out a bunch of sparks. And those things do a lot of damage because there's a lot of projectiles and they can shotgun you really well. So, yeah. So yeah, I don't have to worry about bubble guys, I guess. Let me see. Oh no, you do. You just have to cast the totem inside of them. So keep in mind this phase, he's gonna do this little bullet hell mechanic. Oh no, he's doing his laser first. I don't know if we'll see it. He might die before he does it. No, he's doing it. See this projectile? Stay as far away from it as you can. And then just try to dodge. If you're close to that projectile, you probably will die unless you have a lot of defense. So keep that in mind when you do the fight. But overall, not a hard fight. Pretty easy. We got Delirium in our map. I guess I'll run it. Get a Totem Life. Do I use it? If I get Totem Life, I run Cluster Jewel early. Is that kind of cheating? It's not cheating, but like, I'd be lucky. There's a lot of Delirium in like Acts 5 through 9. Like, you'll find Delirium. Like, I feel like it's a 30% chance to find Delirium. That's like a really high number, because maps it's only 8% without any investment in the Atlas. Alright, so we're just going through this area. We're getting, Delirium's not that good. It's weapons for the first tier. I don't know what our next one is, but we're only gonna get the 3 anyways. No, it's currency. It's pretty good, but we're not gonna get 4. It's not worth really the time, in my opinion. Got a Chaos Orb, pretty nice. Get this strong box. I'm not picking up a lot of transmutations. If it was like my first character, I definitely would be picking up pretty much every transmutation orb I see. I'm leaving some of them. I still pick up a few, but I'm leaving like more than I should if this was my actual first character. So we're gonna grab Cool Preparation next. We do want that life. We want to be tanky.
I shall cleanse this place.
So this is actually the end right here, but there's a wall blocking you, so you have to walk all the way around. These are some blue packs. We're 2 under still, so we'll clear. So what you do is you see it, and it's on the right side. It's pretty much always on the right side, maybe a little more down than right. You just run the opposite way out of it. So you see how I'm just like running this way? And you're going to do a whole loop around the entire map to get back to it. Alright. Head back inwards a little bit. Reflect bow, almost a 5-link. This guy's possessed, but we can kill him because we do a lot of damage. Possessed monsters actually do a lot, or you get a lot of rewards from them, but they're pretty hard to kill. So on my lightning arrow character, my like big mapper, without Norabot, possessed monsters are pretty bad for that build because it's not great at killing bosses at all. But with this build or with an Norabot, oh my gosh, it's just free currency. So we grab this. You don't need to hit the lever. There is a crafting recipe up here if you do this and grab that thing. But regardless, you can portal out. You don't need to talk to Sin. You can talk to him if you feel like it. 90% of the game you do. There's like 2 instances you actually need to talk to Sin. That's like when you beat the game. Alright. Cold and lightning, cold resist, wed. So what are we hurting on the most? So lightning and fire. So we're going to grab a lightning and fire gem. I'm going to grab the spark one because I'm potentially running spark. So I said lightning and fire. So let's roll this. Has cold res, but that's it. But technically that's better. So we're placed. This one, actually I should have kept the other one. Oops, I move. I goofed.
Farewell.
Alright. Talk to
Freedom
Lonnie.
belongs to
We're
those
gonna
who-
sell blah 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 blah. Res strength, but with this is a 4 link, can't get rid of it. This amulet's pretty bad, so I'm just gonna vendor it for some extra
freedom.
currency. That's a sacred. This is a hollowed. Hollowed's better, right? 480 for 5, 7 for 6. Yeah, it's way better. Yeah. Actually, here, check me out. Check me out. If I get reduced mana reserved, I'm gonna pop off. Oh, it's fire, damn it. I mean, it's better than my current one. It's 5% better. I mean, it's worse because it's low roll. Reduce spark duration, it's better too. But I saw it hit the implicit. If it was reduced mana reserved, I was gonna be so happy. I know Spark Aura Stacker isn't like super meta anymore, but like it's a fun build and I'm thinking about trying it. I like to try builds. I'm that guy that like makes like 20 characters a league, tries a bunch of different builds. I think the game's more fun that way. Like, I'm not the type of person who will sit there and like min-max the heck out of it. I like to play a bunch of different builds, understand the game, understand the meta. Sometimes, every once in a while, I'll find a build that's like the build that I love, and I will just, that's my build for like 90% of the league. But until I find that build, I just try a bunch of them. That's what you do. That's how you get experience in this game. You just try new builds, do your best at it. So we're killing this dude because he gives us I forget what he gives us. It's not a passive point for what's his name? Utila. There we go, he's dead. But he's an easy kill, especially if you're a bosser, especially if you're this build. Just free kills. I forget what tier we can start getting like good crit multi on our wands, because I know crit multi and crit chance to spells is like our best friend for this build. Oh, I forgot to drop a portal. After Utila, after you go back towards the center, you drop a portal. And then you can come back and utilize that portal just to like go faster, but it doesn't matter. We'll pick this up. I need chromes. I used a lot of chromes recently on one of my bows, and I'm out, or almost out. I got some back, started farming again, but chromes are good. So we need to keep an eye out for wands. Daggers might be good, if not better. It really depends on your crit. Wands are just so good because increased damage early on is just so important of a stat. But end game, if you can get crit multi on stuff, then man, you're doing damage. What's our crit chance on this right now? It's right there. Crit chance 17%. I was considering, I mean, we're Templar, we get a bunch of power charges. At least the build that I was seeing used it. Some of them weren't using the ascendancy for power charges, which I thought was really weird. So we may not be using, I don't know. I need to look into the final ascendancy. The first 3 are pretty much guaranteed at what they are. I mean, the first 2 are like for sure. It's really a question of what you want your last ascendancy to be. So we're gonna talk to Lonnie, grab our book, and then the Utila reward gives us just like one of these. Pretty bad, but you can corrupt it and get a. Oh, I should have picked up a the other jewel, because if you corrupt it, that's how you get self-flagration, which is the curse damage one. So it's good to corrupt your gems. Let's do it. Well, no one's gonna use that ever, so good to know. Let's you can go back to Ruin. Actually, what's a little faster than Ruin Square, in my opinion, go to Reliquary. And then another cool thing is you reset the instance, so you get more mobs on the way there. Maximizing. So we have our shield, so we can grab these shield nodes now, which I might do. I want this mana though. Yeah, I'm gonna get this mana because I want mana. I want to be tanky. I feel like I'm doing good amount of DPS right now. When you're leveling a build, it's always good if they have like a leveling path, like I do on most of my builds when I have different trees that I show how to level, which you guys should be following. It's always good to follow that. Sometimes you can sometimes they like, mine aren't like 100% like beeline, like passive for passive what to do. It's just like a general idea, but a good way to figure it out. Like, I'm killing a lot of things. My boss DPS is really good. I'm feeling really good about this build. What do I want? I want to be tankier. That's what I want. Because like, if you have enough damage, you don't need like more damage unless you're like, I mean, for leveling at least. Because you don't want to be hurting on damage later on and then be like, oh shoot, my next 6 passive points are all defensive or travel nodes and all that stuff. It's good to like space it out. We'll kill this guy. Later deleted. That's sick. But yeah, it's good to just path it out. And oh, by the way, sorry I forgot to mention it. That was our last back to the area. This is the act boss. This is Katava we're doing right here. Forgot to mention that. I'm trying to mention that more often, like the last time we're going to be back in this act. So make sure you turn in all your quest rewards. Make sure you vendor anything. Make sure you're doing enough damage. All that kind of stuff. Trying to mention that more. So dodge his ground slam. Just kind of keep moving. You don't want to stand still too much. He just does some simple ground slams for his first phase. Second phase, also pretty easy. He adds a few spells. Overall, easy fight. We'll add some totems. We'll curse him. Apply some wither. We won't be too greedy. You see this? When it's pulsing, you want to get out of it. Oh, shoot. I took a lot of damage. Oh, I jumped into that because he targeted a totem. His swipe, you want to stay over. But those little circles, they just get... he targets you. See? You don't want to touch them. All the circles that are like pulsing towards you, each one does damage. It's not just the final one. So you want to make sure you're positioning yourself pretty well where you have room to move. I know like later hacks of this boss and stuff, he makes it kind of hard for that, but positioning is very important if you don't want to die. Let's hurt the heart. Do some more damage. Watch out for the ground slam. Stay out of this. It's like a bleed dot kind of thing. Oh, he was throwing. I forgot to move. I thought he was doing his swipe. So he's going to do this. Stay out of the circles. Just kind of keep an eye on him. See, he's doing a swipe, so just stay back. You want to always keep him in vision. You don't want to be back here and just waiting. That's not safe because he can one-shot you off screen, no problem. You always want to keep an eye on what the boss is doing so you can react to it. That's more safe than just being further away from them. So yeah, we just hurt the heart and we're pretty good. This is the last phase for attacking him. Get him down to half HP. Watch out, he's going to throw the thing. Does his ground slam. Stay out of the blood. Even after the little things are gone, the blood will still dot you if you step in them. So pay attention to that. I know it's really hard to see. That's what a lot of people I feel like die from. If it's not one of the big hits, they're just like, why am I dying? And then they die. It's usually these little blood things on the ground that they need to pay attention to. And we died. Our lightning golem lived. Look at him. He's all fine, but we're dead. You can pre-move in the dark if you feel like it. But that's the end of the act. Now we just talk to Lily, and that's it. That's it. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next 6 later.